booked and busy.
My first in-person class yesterday. 8 a.m. radiology rotation.
I still had 2 practicals.
Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Haley and I'm a second year dental student at University of Michigan School of Dentistry. It's very early right now on Tuesday morning. It's 7:05, I've been up since 6:30, I'm about to leave, so I don't have a ton of time to chat, but I'm gonna take you through a few days of my life in dental school, assisting in the specialty clinic today, studying, practice practical. Tomorrow we have a practical. Thursday, a couple live classes, and studying for Fridays, also practical and in-person midterm. So busy week. Alright, I'm just in a random hallway, hoping nobody walks by. Over there is like our little cafeteria area. I don't want to film anyone. And then going up these doors is a study room. And down here actually is where I had my first in-person class yesterday, which I can talk about after I get home later, but I just wanted to give you all a midday update. Assisted for 4 hours. The first hour and a half I was standing observing an implant surgery, and then we had 3 patient appointments after that. The resident did a treatment planning consult and then 2 post-ops to remove some stitches, some sutures. So that was that. I just ate lunch as you saw, and it is 12:30 right now. I'm gonna go upstairs to our reading room, it's called. It's like a silent study room, and get some work done for our midterm on Friday, as well as I have a couple assignments for ortho class, and I also have to study for Monday, so less than a week away, a midterm we have in GI, and that class has a practice exam. So practice exam and studying for Friday's midterm is the book work of today. And then at 5, I'm doing a practice practical, which is going to be put on by AO, the dental fraternity that I'm in the sim lab, from 5 to 8. So I'm pretty much gonna be upstairs studying for the next 4.5 hours. Kind of funny because I remember not knowing how to find this room. Like, they showed us it on our interview tour, but I could never find it. But I finally figured it out, and it's way up on the 3rd floor. Sim lab and some classrooms are on the ground floor, so it's really like 4 floors up. So tired from a full day of studying. That was a lot of hours, but I got a lot done for dentures. I covered 2 of the hardest lectures. I just have to do one about maxillomandibular relations. That's another tough one, but I got the rest done, and I feel pretty good about knowing it. Plus I made a good study guide that I can review for Friday. But I'm so tired. There's pizza with our practice practical, so I'm gonna go get some of that and then have the practice practical. It is 7:47. I am back home, so we'll pick up tomorrow, Wednesday, with a recap of the practical, and then we will jump into Thursday's footage. Okay, last time you saw me, I think it was Tuesday night, I realized that my throat was tickly and I was exhausted from being at school for so long, so I just went to bed. And then I woke up the next day and was very sick. I had come down with a terrible cold and it just kept getting worse over the course of a few days, which is why I wanted to film this clip just to update you all on what has been going on for the days that I intended to film but didn't. That didn't stop the fact that I still had 2 practicals this past week to deal with. So we had a practical on Wednesday for crown preps. We were prepping 30 and 14 for full gold crowns or zirconia crowns, either way, and that just means they have the same type of margin, which is a chamfer margin, a light chamfer. I think the practical for that went pretty well. I assume I probably got B's. Hopefully later in this video I can update you all and let you know how that went. They grade a little bit easier, but also the hardest thing is like not damaging the adjacent tooth when you're doing the interproximal reduction and getting that margin there. If you just go down to a smaller burr size, you should be fine. And other than that, you just need to keep frequently measuring and checking to make sure that you're reducing enough. And keeping the anatomy is just using the adjacent teeth. So if the adjacent teeth kind of go like this, you would put your burr here and then go into your prep and drill that way to get that angle. And then you'd also have your burr going up and down this way and then you would be drilling this way to get that angle. So you're just kind of like following what's naturally already happening on the tooth you're working on and the adjacent teeth, so it wasn't too hard. I think it's important to me to always share like the mental health, like how you're really doing, how dental school really is. So aside from being sick, I also noticed, just because last week and this week had been pretty crazy, that I was pushing myself a little bit like extra, and I think that is part of the reason I got sick. And then also just the normal like fall back to school, everyone kind of seems to have a cold, but really hard time like slowing down. When I got back from school or finished like studying or whatever I was doing, I was having a really hard time falling asleep and I was feeling a lot of anxiety. And I'm not sure if that's particularly like because of the next day, knowing that I had to wake up early and kind of be really busy again or what, but the things that helped with that was talking to my mom or my dad on the phone, FaceTiming my boyfriend, also reading. I'm still reading that book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. It's a Christian book. I've been really enjoying it. I just don't get around to reading it as much as I'd like, but that's also just a calming topic, and reading in general I find to be very relaxing. So basically I just try to not use my phone or I guess social media, because some of it's talking to family that helps, but those things have been really helpful in distracting myself enough to being able to relax and then get to sleep. But sleeping has been kind of hard with all the exams and then the practical week. And one thing I wrote down that I wanted to mention to you all during this update clip also is, like I said, I didn't have assisting scheduled, but I also had already studied for Friday, which was the second practical and a written midterm in person. So I'd already studied for that a little bit on Monday and Tuesday before I started to feel sick. So it's just a good reminder that you don't want to procrastinate too much, just because you never know what's going to come up, like a emergency, something that you have to go do for yourself or a roommate or a family member, or if you end up getting sick or something. It's good to at least like keep up with material and be a little bit prepared in advance. And as for how that midterm and practical went, the practical itself was super easy. We just had to make a maxillary custom tray. That was really easy. The midterm was a little bit more challenging. I knew it was going to be kind of challenging. I thought the questions were very fair. I just didn't know everything because I guess I didn't study enough, but also I was pretty sick still. Wednesday and Thursday were the worst days. Friday was kind of meh. I pretty much slept the whole time all those days, or was resting, except for the brief time that I was taking my practicals or studying for that midterm. Essentially every weekend though, from September until Thanksgiving, has been booked and busy, which is like a nice fun thing, but also kind of crazy. So
On October 2nd was the MSU, so my undergrad in East Lansing homecoming game. So that was the Saturday after being sick. Thankfully, I felt well enough to go, but it was a tailgate get together with all my friends from undergrad. So I went back to East Lansing on Saturday, which was a lot of fun. So all of this is in the past, but going forward, still up until Thanksgiving, I just want to update you all and give you another reason to follow me on Instagram, because I'm not going to be vlogging everything every week. Like, a lot of things are happening with clubs or in lab or with exams, and they're not all going to be on YouTube. I'm kind of taking a step back from YouTube, just in the sense of not putting a requirement on myself to post every single week. Videos are probably gonna be up every other week, just because it's fun for me to edit and everything, but I feel like they're getting a little bit repetitive and they don't seem to be getting as much engagement. So I'm gonna be scaling back a little bit on YouTube. If you do wanna know every single thing going on, Instagram is the place to follow me. And if you wanna see what's happening with all of these weekend events and dental conferences, make sure you're following me over on Instagram as well. This coming weekend, so after this vlog ends, after that dentures lab, I'm flying to California, Irvine, California with Pacific Dental Services. They are bringing my roommate and I out there for a CAD CAM workshop, and I am going to do a vlog of the California trip. So that should be the next video that you get to see. And then in November 19th through the 21st, I'm going to be in Chicago for the ASDA National Leadership Conference called The Summit. And then it's Thanksgiving, so every weekend is busy, but it's kind of fun because it forces me to be more productive with school, and it gives me something to look forward to, and they're fairly diversified between dental and friends and boyfriends. I'm trying to have a balance of everything, because balance is good. As attainable as it can be, balance is good. But those are all the updates, and now we'll get into the rest of the vlog. I just decided to show you all the following week after being sick. That way I can have something to round off this video and keep it dental school related. Alrighty, it is Monday and I'm headed into lab. I'll take you all with me. We're starting our next set of preps for our practical that's in 2 weeks. So we're starting on tooth number 3 to do crown preps, which is counting from your upper right. So wisdom tooth, which you may or may not have, then your 2 molars. And that's tooth number 3. So we're gonna work on that, and I'll get some clips in lab, on campus possibly, and then after lab, I'm gonna be super low key and do some fall Halloween coziness. .45, and every time it feels like 8 a.m. radiology rotation just doesn't need to exist, deep breaths. It's always fine once the day gets going, but like when that alarm goes off, you're just contemplate skipping or something, but obviously I never do. It gets ya. Get into my scrubs and we'll head over to school for radio. If you watched my last video, you saw that I worked with Stoggles, so I'm excited because I'm filming that today and throughout the week, trying them out for that review. Alright, it's about 12:30 right now. We had radio earlier, as you saw. I think I did like 2 sets of bite wings, which are 4 each, and then just 1 quick PA for a tooth that was causing the patient some pain. So when you do a PA, it's showing more of like the root of the tooth versus a bite wing is like this shot right here. Versus a PA would either be up here or down here to see if there's any infection or anything. So that's why we took a PA of specifically tooth 19 for that one patient. But I've been sitting in bed procrastinating. I did make HelloFresh earlier. My determination was I did miss it because I was eating the same things over and over at home here if I wasn't using HelloFresh, and it was a little bit less healthy. Like I just would be lazy and not incorporate vegetables. So this at least gets me a vegetable with all of the meals, and it's healthier and a little bit more variety and everything. I don't get any affiliate kickback or anything from HelloFresh though. It's just something that I genuinely enjoy doing. And then anything else I ever talk about in videos, like my laptop stand, for example, or even like my laptop case, or like anything I show like in my room, all of that's always linked below if you're interested, and it doesn't like affect anything on your end as a consumer, but I do get like a 1% commission sometimes when you make purchases through links in my description. So I appreciate it if you ever do see something in a video and you're gonna buy it, you might as well use one of my links. But the rest of this video, I'm just gonna focus on lab stuff with you all. I thought that I would quickly let you all know what we did in lab today actually, which is Wednesday, because I know that the hands-on in-person things are exciting, and I also hopefully finish something for lab on Friday, which I told you I was gonna film. So I finished my denture occlusal rims, which you can see here. I think they're finished, I'm not 100% sure, so we're gonna have to see what the faculty says on Friday. If I need to make any adjustments, then I will, and then hopefully they'll sign off that project so it's done, and then we start setting teeth. I still need to watch the lectures for that, so this clip is kind of my way of procrastinating, finishing my orthodontics homework and studying for my endodontics quiz tomorrow. And then on Thursday, tomorrow, I'm gonna study and review for the quiz for dentures and also review the actual technique for setting teeth that we're gonna be doing on Friday. But in lab today, after I finished the occlusal rims, I got there early to do that. I just did some more crown preps, so I just have some footage of the prep. So we also got our practical grades back, and I got a B+ on both of them, which is kind of what I expected. I expected in the B range, and then they wanted us to go ahead and scan them on the 3D scanner CEREC machine. So we scanned them there with the OmniCam, and then we had to save them and then also scan a couple of my preps for a project assignment for this project period. And then I got 2 more teeth signed off. We had 3 teeth due today. So that's kind of what I did in lab, just more preps of that premolar tooth 13. It feels kind of weird prepping 13 because it ends up being so tiny, but that's the way it's supposed to look. Like I said, I've been very busy. I had started this homework in the morning, and then I went into lab early, had lab, and then got back here, made a HelloFresh dinner, and just finished a recording for a pre-dental club. I did a Zoom with them, and this morning I also had a podcast recording with a guest that is a D1 at University of Buffalo. So busy day, but now I need to do endo and ortho, like I said, until bed. It's 7:30 right now, so I have plenty of time in the hours that I'm actually productive studying, about an hour and a half to study for endo tomorrow, which I think is plenty of time. Plus, if need be, I can wake up early and study then. So that's everything for Wednesday. Right, we're leaving in a few minutes here to go to the airport to go to California for an event with Pacific Dental Services, but I'm gonna put in some clips from lab today for dentures.
And that's everything for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.